Call to order the regular meeting, December the 4th, 2023. Commissioner Thomas, if you would say the prayer.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Bob Smith, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Okay, now you're doing my dick, and you want the short one or the long one?
Make it light on yourself.
Father God, we thank you for being God Almighty, having all power in your hand. Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for those that are here. Father, we ask that you bless us and that you bless this meeting, that everything we do be pleasing in your sight, that you will continue to bless Wayne County, to enlarge our territory and our citizens. And we thank you for those that are here, that are concerned, and those that are not. Father, we ask you to continue to bless those that are fighting in harm's way, that we can enjoy this very freedom. We give you all the praise and the glory in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. The only item I would like to add, if we can, is it's something that we already looked at. We passed it the last time. It's EAM, the abatement, and Andy probably can give us some clarification if Dale doesn't show up. But I would like to add that under presentation and announcements, because we don't have to vote on it or anything like that if we could. So I'll make that in the form of a motion that we
Second, Mr.
add
Chairman.
item B after 6, presentation and announcements.
I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Matt, any comments, concerns? I know we don't normally do this, but this is not something we have to vote on, and Andy has read through it thoroughly. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Next item is approval of the minutes for our regular meeting, November the 6th, 2023.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Any comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes. Everybody silence their phones.
Yes.
They thought they had me, but I had mine silent. All right. Next is presentations and announcements. Mr. Todd Wise, you will be first. I do want to remind you, you've probably heard these 1,000 times in y'all's meeting, the rules of decorum. We do give 5 minutes. The chair will enforce the rules of decorum. The purpose of the meeting is for the Board of Commissioners to conduct the county's business. Meetings shall be conducted in an orderly and respectful fashion. They are not a forum to belittle, ridicule, or embarrass county commissioners, other county officials, county employees, or anybody else. I do ask that you keep it to 5 minutes or under. And Mr. Beaver, if you would, keep us. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. I'm just going to give you an overview of the federal money that I've been able to obtain for the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. I'd like to thank Sheriff Mosley, Chief Hargrove, and Mr. Drawdy for allowing me to do this. Right now, our fiscal year in the Fed starts in October. I met with them about a month ago. And currently, we are sending a detective to the Criminal Investigator Instructor Training Program, which is 7 weeks long, and they're paying $16,742 to accommodate that at no cost to the Sheriff's Office. We are sending a detective also to the digital photography school, which is $3,221, and they will furnish the equipment such as the tripod, the training, the lesson plans, and also a brand new camera for the sheriff's office. Also, we're sending one to law enforcement instructor training program at $2,113, which is 2 weeks long, and they'll have the lesson plans. We're looking at sending to the laptop digital investigator program. We have sent them before. They give them a laptop with all the software on to tap in for criminal investigations. We're sending 2 to active shooter instructor training program to be certified as instructors here in the county as well. And there are multiple other officers that are currently certified in this arena, but at the cost of the county is $0. So we're looking at probably a 6-figure salary this year that I'll be able to incorporate with training for all the officers that we need to meet our goal. The sheriff and the chief, Mr. Darty, as I said, I meet with them on a regular basis. We are looking at the needs versus the wants, so we're getting there, and we've been very productive at this. We've been doing it for 2 years now. We've exceeded our expectations. And furthermore, it allows these officers to come back, disseminate the information out to other officers in other counties. We're working with Appleton, Long, McIntosh, Glenn, and Douglas. And the money that I have left over, if we're not available to send, we're actually reaching out to multiple counties surrounding us, so that way we can blanket as the umbrella for us be the place to come to for all this type of grant money, and also it makes our contacts even more available for us in surrounding areas. So that was about the quickest 5 minutes I could give you on about a 3-hour lecture.
Todd,
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind mentioning,
sir.
because I know, I don't know about on this one, that the photography class, but I think in the past, when you sit on the photography class, I think the detectives come back with like a $6,000 digital
Yes, sir,
camera or
that's
something.
correct.
I mean,
They
so
give them
that,
the state-of-the-art
I
camera,
mean,
they
when
give
you-
them
yeah.
the cards and everything, they give them the plans to go in and tap other cameras as well. So it is a very good criminal scene that we can go into that is very high level, that takes us to that next area we need to be in.
I just
Very
want to say
good.
thank you for the time and effort, and, you know, you're looking after Wayne County, putting Wayne County first, and also we're reaching out to our neighbor counties and helping them.
And that's been huge, sir, Mr. Commissioner. We have gotten great reviews. We actually brought federal instructors up here, and they traveled on their own dime and taught classes up here. Also have a partner HC that's coming in from Arizona after the first year. Sometimes we're setting those arrangements up. They're paying for their flight, their per diem, and they want to give us their surplus equipment that's only 1 year old. That's going to give us our area as well. So we're doing good things.
Do we normally, did somebody else have something? We normally just pay for this and grin and bear it, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And if you hadn't gone and got the money, I
That's
sure
correct, sir. So
appreciate
this
it.
is costing us nothing.
All the taxpayers appreciate it, because we've had issues. We've talked about that with the sheriff before, whether it's getting a officer trained for duty or whatever it is, and the costs and expenses that we have of that, and them going to other counties. I think we've resolved that problem, and this will be huge, so we know that they're gonna stay in the county and have some free equipment
That's
to be
correct,
able
sir.
to do it. Thank you very much.
And like I said, the sheriff and the chief and I speak on it weekly. I usually try to go down to the Federal Academy every week, and I'll get a dream sheet. I'll bring it back to the sheriff and the chief. We'll go, this person needs to go this one, this one, this one, this one. And then we start marking on the calendar, then I make the calls, I register them. I do the funding through them. That shows a zero cost balance for our county and for the officers.
Awesome.
Also
Yes.
available to you, and I think you already know, as chairman of the Region Commission, Workforce Investment will pay for your officers to go to training to be certified,
Yes, sir.
and they'll pay a portion of that.
Yes, sir.
They'll cover some equipment. I don't think they will cover the weapon, but they will cover some.
That's correct, sir. And it's like the criminal investigation instructor training program, that's one in the meeting. I actually drew the lottery on that one. I have been working on that with the sheriff and them vigorously on trying to get one of there's nobody in this county or the surrounding counties that's been to this program. It's 7 weeks long. They come out certified as a criminal investigator, under the Fed guidelines, that could actually walk away from here and go and get hired by 82 federal agencies because they pay for them to go to that. And we actually drew the lottery and won it.
Awesome.
One of the things too we came up with, I don't know if sheriff got that in place now, is that if they take advantage of this program,
Yes,
do we have something that they are obligated to stay with us for maybe 3 years or something like that?
that's up to the sheriff.
Stay with us?
And what I wanna go with
Stay with
also,
us for 2 or 3 years?
Yes,
so-
sir. And
So
I
that
think
we
that
don't
would
train
be
people for
commendable.
somebody else?
we actually were able to use their entire driving range for pit course, and we sent people to pit course, and they shut down their whole range for us and 2 other agencies that I held out for. So when you shut down 7 ranges at a federal academy and allow us to use their vehicles, tear them up, their timing, their instructors, and certify our officers in the city and the county as instructors, that's pretty huge that they do that for us.
That's awesome.
Mr. Commissioner, they do sign a contract whenever we send them to school, and the specialist training, I tell them I'll break the year.
Eloquently put. That's where we stand right now, and that's only for the month of January. All this is only happening in this first month, so we still have 11 months to go.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Next item, or next presentation is Dale. I don't see. Andy, you think you can go through some of this and leave out all the lawyer jargon and quickly?
Try our best. You want to put me on a 5-minute timer?
3-minute timer.
So essentially, the IDA is issuing bonds or is filing a petition with the court to issue bonds to EMA for the new construction that they're planning on doing out there. I forgot the exact amount of the bonds that they're issuing, that they're actually issuing. It's a little bit different than what you're doing for the school board tonight, or what's being requested of this board to do for the school board tonight. However, the county is a party to, or not really a party, but they're asked to acknowledge the petition. The bonds are supposed to be validated from a Superior Court judge, I think, later on this month. Us, and if the school board hadn't been asked, I believe they will be asked to also acknowledge the filing of the petition from the IDA as well. What, a little bit different than kind of, I guess, the standard bonds, what you're thinking of when we talk about the county issuing the bonds from the standpoint that you really kind of do a lease-to-own type arrangement with EAM and the IDA. The property where EAM will do the renovations at or the additions, that property will actually be deeded to the IDA. The IDA will hold that property. The repayment schedule from EAM will be the same, or to the IDA will be based on the same schedule as what their payments are. We're not a party to it because there's no tax ramifications for us as far as y'all being the levying authority. We would not lose any money whether EAM cannot afford to repay the bonds back or not. This is really just kind of a vice or a way to be able to extend out the tax abatements for the IDA. The IDA can't abate taxes within themselves, but any property that's in the IDA's name taxes would not be owed on that property. So by virtue of doing this, essentially we guarantee that the EAM gets their tax abatements. Again, we're only a party as far as acknowledging it. There's really no action that I see that the board needs to take tonight, other than, I believe Mr. Key's plan was to come and explain this to you and make you aware of it, so the chairman can sign that the board acknowledges that they understand that the IDA is actually issuing the bonds for EAM.
I will say, Chairman, I did attend the IDA meeting, and that was explained, this last one. So it was, I was satisfied with what I heard, about the taxes and stuff. And, basically, like Andy said, what I took away was that we're just saying, okay, we understand because they don't have the authority to do the taxes we do, and we're honoring that tax abatement.
And we already approved that
We've already
the last
approved it,
time.
so
So.
it's-
Okay, any more questions, comments? Thank you, Andy. Next item is citizens' concerns. We have none. Public meetings, we have none. Old business, consider and approve bid for concessions tabled from October the 2nd. Mr. Drawdy?
Yes, I've met with Sean McGowan and Derek Williams of Dee's Auto Spa, if y'all know Dee. and then Sean too. And they are interested in taking over concessions. There was some concern, or is some concern from the standpoint of they've never done concessions before. I know they reached out, Sean reached out, and I think he's talked to Spec, and he's talked to Ralph Hickox, who obviously used to run concessions for some time, and he's got some feedback from them. Because we've had no one else show any interest, what the kind of agreement that we've come to is that, and talking with Spec, that January and February is real slow, there's not a lot going on, but March, when baseball season really kicks off, is when the concession season will kick off with it. So the idea is that we're gonna let them operate for 3 months, and then at that point, we're gonna have another meeting. I'll meet with Derek and Sean, and they're gonna bring their gross receipts in, and we're gonna see what's, win-win doable for not only the county, but also for them, because we want them, one, to do the concessions, to take this burden off the rec department, and then number two, obviously to do that, they got to make money. And so we want them to make money, but at the same time, there's, some cost in it for the county itself. So we're gonna try to come to an agreement at that point for what that, because, in the RFP that we sent out, they would need to do a 10%, a percentage of gross receipts. So we'll sit back down at that time, look at the gross receipts, and basically negotiate back and forth and come up with what we feel will be a fair percentage for them as well as for us.
I would like to sit in on those meetings. That's my wheelhouse.
Okay, good. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So this 90-day trial, or would be March, April, May?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So what I'm hearing is we do the trial. They got the gross receipts to see how much money they made or didn't make or whatever. At that particular time, that's when we decide, okay, this is what you did with your 90 days. We're gonna give you 50%, or we're gonna give you 75%, so that we can keep you doing this, take the burden off the county. The county would get the 25% for the electrical cost, just the various little things. So that percentage is gonna be turned on that trial basis. Is that what I'm?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
I think that's,
Yeah.
I think it's a win-win for everybody.
And keep in mind, those are random numbers you just gave out.
Yeah.
Because
Those
I
are
don't
very
think
random numbers.
don't
Right.
scare anybody, but, so do we need to approve this
Well, I mean,
for the
just-
trial period also?
I
would think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because just the bigger issue is for them, because they've never been in the concession business before, they want to ensure that yes, they can make this go. And I surely wouldn't want, and I don't think, because a lot of you up here are business people, you wouldn't want to sign a 12-month contract with somebody and they get into 3 months of it and go, oh my gosh, we're losing money every single month. So they want to make sure that this is something that can work for them. We want them to see that. And then, so hopefully we can, come into a 12-month agreement, once again, just to relieve the burden on the recreation department.
So does somebody want to make a motion? And I guess we're going to call this temporary concessions?
That sounds good.
Because,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this trial session.
I'll second it.
any comments, concerns? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
excuse me,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary.
Yes. Next item, that's all of old business. New business, consider and approve memorandum of agreement with DOT in reference to Oglethorpe Road at the Little Goose Creek Bridge. This is the second bridge, and we've already approved the first bridge, correct?
Correct.
We kind of discussed this at the last meeting. Does anybody have any questions on this? We're getting a free bid, a free bridge, and I think it's $50,000?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're getting a,
Yeah, $1 million or plus bridge for $50,000.
right. Otherwise, we would have to come out of our own pocket.
I'll
So,
make a motion to approve Oglethorpe Road to Goose Creek Bridge.
Okay. Any more comments? Madam Clerk, did you?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Item B, consider and approve paid time off. We did discuss this at the work session in detail. I know everybody's had a chance. I myself went through and talked to several of the employees. I got more positive than negative with the paid time off. Just to clarify it with y'all, and Mr. Drawdy, if you would correct me if I get any of this wrong, but the main concern from the employees that I talked to were when they have sick leave and vacation leave, if they're a little bit sick, then they have to have a doctor's excuse. All right? If it happens on a Friday, they take off to keep from infecting everybody else with their sickness, but in order to get paid for that, they have to go to the doctor and pay a copay to get credit for a sick day. That was the main thing that I heard. This will eliminate that. This will also give them the opportunity to bank 720 hours, and they will be able to utilize that if they had a long-term illness or operation or anything like that. They would also be able to use that 720 hours at the end of right before their retirement. And they also would be able to give that 720 hours once it's accumulated. This is accumulated. Once they get it, any portion of that would be able to be given to one of your coworkers to help them out if they, as of right now, they don't have that time saved up. But if they went out on long-term leave, they would be able to give that some of their vacation time to them to help them out. And that was one of the big concerns that they had, especially with the situation we're in now with one of the department heads. So we just, does anybody you want to add anything to that?
No, sir. The only thing I would say is just on some of those, the employee would have to have a minimum number of hours before they could donate or anything like that. But everything you said was absolutely correct. It really takes the burden off of our office and Ms. Parker in reference to constantly trying to, okay, you got a doctor's excuse while you were out. So basically this is just paid time off. So instead of having holiday vacation, it's just paid time off. If you want to use it for all holiday, that's fine. If you come up with a severe illness and you need to use it all for sick, well, then you can do that. So, yeah.
So what I'm hearing is before they can give any of their hours away,
Not holiday, just vacation.
there's a minimum amount of what you're saying that they have to have. For instance, like they had to have at least 300 before they could give it to somebody else. We've got to 720. After they get to 720, is that the limit? And anything else they can't bank other than the 720? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, the bank is actually the 720, and I asked Ms. Parker to come because she can speak to it better than probably anybody in the room. But after what's it, 340? 320, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Anything that your vacate or at this point, your paid time off would be up to 320 hours. Anything over that would go into your extended illness bank up to 720. So then when you max out at 320 and the 720, then anything over that you would lose.
Okay, that's the point I was making. Thank you.
And just for clarification, I was saying holiday. I meant vacation is what I meant, not holiday. They get holidays, but.
Sounds like it's streamlining and simplifying things.
It is, and the other big issue, I think, is when Ms. Parker and I and Amanda sat down and talked about it. I mean, once again, yes, it helps us in our office, but more than anything, it's a benefit to the employee. I mean, there was, when we first put the information out there were some employees concerned. We've heard those concerns. We went out and talked to them, and any negative that the employees did have faded away with how many positives are in this plan. So once again, the way we viewed it anyway is this is a benefit, another benefit for our employees. In other words, it's better than what we're doing now. And I know from just knowing y'all that that's one of the things we want to do is help our employees.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the paid time off.
I second it.
Any more comments, concerns?
This is gonna be effective the first of the year.
Right, January. Okay.
Yes. Correct, Paul?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hickox?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Item C, consider and approve replacing drainage pipe on Frank Road. Everybody's got a copy of the estimate, and we only got one estimate because it's something that not a lot of people do. Are you wanting to get up and talk about this, or you want me to explain it? You sitting there on ready, you go ahead.
I've been trying for this for a while. Basically, this is out off Overcook Road where Frank Road's located. It's a dirt road.
Thank you, Angie.
There's an overflow structure from a pond which abuts the county right of way. It was installed 50-plus years ago, Mr. Elton.
It's mid-50s, it's not.
Mid-50s. The county in the past has helped with repairs to it, so we feel obligated that we should step in and help with the repair now. What has happened is there's a box, basically, we got overflow pipe coming to the road, has a big box with some weirs in it. The bottom of the box, which is roughly 20 foot down, is gone. The bottom of it's just washing out the road now, so we came up with a plan to replace the overflow structure, just do away with the existing one. Don't want just anyone working on it because it is the dam to the pond. It's a fairly large pond. Reached out to several contractors and really no one, either they were too busy to do it or said they was outside of their scope of work. Didn't really want to touch it. The one we came back with, I think we got $42,000 was the estimate to repair it. Actually put in a new overflow structure to it. So that's where we're at now with it. And this would come out of SPLOST money, from what I understood. So that's really the project itself right now. We're just trying to make sure we got the support of the
I did speak with Mr. Elton. And one of the problems that I saw myself when we went out and looked at, put physical eyes on it, there's no spillway for this dam for the lake. And that's an issue to me because I've seen what happens at Lake Grace. When I became a commissioner, they said that spillway has never been filled up. Well, since I've been a commissioner, it has overrun that spillway. And that is a safety thing. And I ask that we talk with the landowner and give them the option, hopefully, that they will create a spillway so to not have the integrity of the dam. Let me explain this to y'all. This is the county road, county maintained road. This is the dam. It's about 6 feet up, would you say?
That's probably about right.
About 6 feet up from that. All of this is a, how many acre lake?
What do you say, that's 20?
Yeah.
Make it 30.
Okay.
It's pretty good size.
20 to 30 acre lake with all water up to about here on the dam. Okay, when you go to this road, there's about a 15-foot drop off over here. Then there's another 10-acre pond over here. There's another county maintained road, and it's probably 15 feet up on that dam. And the concern we have is that if this breaks, the weir fails, and these wash out, there are houses down here, and you can imagine what 20 acres of water would do to the houses that are close and even some that are a little bit farther away. And I think we need to address this, but myself, I would make the motion that we table this until we have some kind of confirmation for the spillway and that they're gonna be able to pay for it, and also get permission from other landowners, and I'm sure you can help with that. And once we have confirmation on the spillway, maybe bring it up in January, if he's got it by then, and then, that way we have two preventatives. We don't wanna have it to where that the pipe that we're installing is the only means for safety, that once they put the spillway in, if our pipe failed or was not satisfactory in the amount of flow, then it would also be able to go around the spillway and hopefully wouldn't wash out the new portion that we have.
That's right, and a little bit, in order to support, or to say to support what you just said, we'd had a blockage in that pipe over the last few weeks, so beavers had gotten in there and dammed it up inside the existing pipe. Along with the other problems we got, he said he got in there and got that opened up, so, anyway, that's, you always got those other factors of nature that you can't foresee and don't necessarily know's going on at the time.
Right.
Because they went in and built inside the pipe, so we need that second.
And with a spillway, you can see if there's any problems.
That's right.
It would just go around it. So I make that in the form of a motion that we table this until we, find out a little bit more on the
I'll second.
spillway. Any more comments?
No, you answered, getting permission from the landowners. I like the idea of not just repairing something, having a single point of vulnerability. You've got a backup plan. With
We're
the
also
second,
gonna look into the hold harmless,
to what now?
hold harmless agreement. We're gonna look
Gotcha.
into that a little bit further as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sound like a lot of good work and good thought went into this.
If you would, keep Mr. Strawdy posted on that so we can, make a decision one way or another in our January meeting, please. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
All right, next item is consider and approve qualifying fees. Everybody got the paperwork. It's 3% of their salary, their base salary. I'll entertain the motion to approve these qualifying fees.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Next item, consider and approve resolution for the tax levy for the Board of Education for bonds. I think we have all been contacted about this. Mr. Smith, do you wanna, can you give us a very short description of this or not?
Well, basically, the East SPOS and your SPOS, if it passes, will raise about $30 million over 5 years. And in order to do the project or start the projects, this bond is less than $15 million. 13,875 would be. So you've got that much of a cushion to pay it back. If for some ungodly reason, they didn't have enough money to pay it back, then it would go to the state of Georgia, and the state of Georgia adopted years ago what's called an intercept program. And basically, they guarantee that they will take the money necessary to pay any shortfall for any governmental agency. The shortfall for the payment of the bonds. If for some reason that failed, and if that failed, we got big problems, because that happening is slim and none. But you get, that helps. Basically, you got two guarantees that the bonds are gonna be repaid, with interest, and you get a much lower interest rate. To put that in dollars and cents, these bonds have been sold. They were sold on November the 14th. The reason why they were sold then, because we got a premium of 1.1, the school board got a premium of $1.1 million. In other words, the bondholders paid $14,900 for $13,875 worth of bonds. They paid that premium, $1 million. Also, 2 days before these bonds were sold, committed to be sold, the interest rate dropped 19 basis points, 2%. So basically, the school board, because of this, and because of this tax levy and this intercept program, the school board saved or made literally $3 million. And that's basically, and you'll face that same thing in your SPOS. That's what the underwriter is for. The bonds have been sold. They were sold to the underwriter. The underwriter is responsible for selling the bonds, but they've already been sold, and it's just a matter of closing this thing out.
Would you explain the question that I asked you on the process of repayment, on how that works with the SPOS and the money when it comes back in? Can you explain that, how it comes out first for the principal and the interest?
The money, you're basically, you're getting $6 million a year. The school board will receive $6 million a year for the SPOS.
Hopefully.
From these SPOS. They will receive that money from the tax. All of the principal and interest on these bonds has to go into a bond repayment fund before any money can be spent on any projects. And that's throughout the entire life of the bond. Every year, when this money comes in, and by the way, so that the money is built up to start off with, the first principal payment is due a year and 3 months after the bonds, the eSPOS money starts coming in, and that's just $1 million payment. The rest of the time it's over $4 million payment. And that's so that fund is built up, and that the money has to. The school board can't spend any money on their projects until that money is in there every year. It has to go in there first, and that's the only thing, and it has to be used solely for that purpose. So they're gonna have the money there before they can do anything else with it. And so that basically guarantees that they can't go spend money building this or building that or doing this until the money is set aside each year for that bond repayment.
Okay.
Sinking fund, but that's what it is.
Dr. Kelly, do you have anything you want to add to that? I mean, you showed up. I didn't know if you had something else you wanted.
No, so we just appreciate your consideration. Ever since I've been here, our eSPOS receipts have been very healthy. Community's been very good to us. We see no reason why that will change. Historically, the school board's been able to not only pay their bond debt and their bond service, but have also, exceeded those amounts every month. And we see no reason other than I think the state constitution requiring this of the county commission, we would not bother you with this, but, we think we're gonna be just fine, but we appreciate your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, I want one other thing. Before it gets to this tax levy, and again, it's the same thing as when you levy it for the operation of the school system. It's a school tax. But before you get to that, you go to that state intercept program. This state intercept program has been in effect, it's a law, it's been in effect, I think about 18 years. And they've never paid a dime out of that intercept program for any governmental agency in Georgia. So it's never, that's the chances of this tax thing ever coming about. It's almost impossible. I mean, the whole country would have to financially collapse before it would ever get to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Any more questions? Thank you, Bob.
I make a motion, we approve the resolution for the tax levy for the Board of Education.
I second it.
Okay. Any more questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox?
No.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary?
Yes. And I'm gonna go ahead and sign that so you can go to bed. I know that's what it's for. If you got it or if you got it, Amanda?
Bob's got it.
You get that one day,
What do you
if you're
think?
lucky.
Bob, you want a blue pen?
Oh, I got a red one.
Here.
That's for your minutes.
Thank you.
Two on this one. Was there just one on that?
Amanda's gotta sign that.
They're all up for
Oh,
election
okay.
next year. Do what now? They're up for election next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for 2024.
The next one's mine too, mine and Andy, so you go ahead.
Oh, for Wayne Memorial Hospital?
That's right,
Okay.
it is.
This is consider and approved deed transferring property to Wayne Memorial Hospital. I think we talked about this in the work session, and there was a couple of things needed to be clarified, and they have been clarified. Anybody got any questions, comments? For-
We approve it.
I second it.
Okay,
Who motioned?
Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas. And what this is you want me to explain it, or you
I
want?
can if you want me to, it's up to you.
You go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman.
I'm tired of talking.
I'm sorry. This is a piece of property, as we talked about in the work session. If you're familiar with Wayne Memorial Hospital and the emergency room, the best way to describe it is if you're standing at the doors of the emergency room and you look straight across, behind, somebody help me with the name of that building now. It's right next.
Diversity.
Thank you, ma'am. It's right behind Diversity and next to the health department. That land used to be owned by the hospital, and it was given to the county to build the health department. So, what the director of the hospital, Mr. Irati, wants to do is what they're looking at doing anyway, is building a small building there on that lot, that'll basically have anywhere from 4 to 6 rooms with like a, common living area and then a common kitchen that they can utilize for, whether it be doctors or PAs that come in from out of town, they're working the weekends or just working maybe 2 or 3 days. Some of these folks will actually just go out to their car, catch a cat nap, that type thing, and then come back in for work. What Mr. Irati and the hospital wants to do is for that staff and to use as a recruiting tool as well, to be able to say, hey, come work with us on the weekends, and, we're gonna have a place for you to actually go down, lay your head for about 8 hours or however many hours, and be right back at work, so.
I will say, my son-in-law is a doctor, and he's going through the same thing, and that would make a determination whether he'd wanna come work in an area or not.
Yeah.
Because they have to pay for their own hotels, they sleep in the car. I just think it's a great thing, and first of all, if somebody's working on me, I want them to be rested. Or
Amen, brother.
So,
Or-
that's my thoughts on it.
Or Patsy.
Or Patsy, that's my thing.
Okay. Any more questions, comments? I agree. I think it's a good thing. Promote maybe some doctors that don't normally come here.
Right, and so our county attorney and Mr. Smith have gotten together and prepared a deed just for that piece of property so that they can move forward with building that project.
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second it.
Okay.
I was waiting for somebody
All right.
else.
Mr. Smith, would you want to, you got 30 seconds left on your previous 5-minute time. You want to talk about
Well,
this?
all I would add to this is, all this property was originally a hospital authority property. And everything on the campus has to be used for medical purposes. And we needed a place to put the health department. And that first little building was the original health department. And this is directly behind that, and this land will never be used for anything else. And then the present health department was built after that. We outgrew the other health department in less than 10 years. And so then they built the county hospital authority again, deeded land to the county, back to the county for the present health department.
Right. And there's still room for expansion in the piece of property that we have left, I
Oh, yeah.
believe.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so if we have to expand the health department
Right.
that we're currently in, we still have room to do that.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary.
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Next item, consider and approve bids for EMS generator. I need a blue pen. Y'all, we got, excuse me just a minute.
Give me more. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just go ahead and record.
Thank you, sir.
This went out to bid, and we got 2 bids. This is the generator for EMS, and currently, if we have a power outage there, I think they go to the hospital. And we have no way, if it was an extended amount of time for the power outage, and they would be there, there would be no facilities for them to sleep in or anything like that. And I think this is very neat. I don't know why we didn't put one in when we started, but at least that way we could, in the event of a catastrophic storm, they separate the ambulances. So if it came through one area, it would not get all the medical ambulances or people that we have. And this, to me, is just giving us one more avenue to have some of our first responders at another location and to be able to continue to have power. There's several of the equipment that they use that needs to be stay charged up, and with them without power, they would not be able to do it there, and they would have to transport all of that equipment back over to the hospital or wherever they were at. So I'll entertain the motion. The two bids we got, one was $30,700, and the other one was $31,800. So fair, they're very close. This is for a 32 kilowatt natural gas generator with 200 amp auto transfer switches, generator pad, gas line, and we already have the gas run there, so shouldn't be a problem hooking that up.
Be paid for by ARP money.
I would rather do it with SPOS.
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, 'cause that,
Yeah.
okay, so that'll come out of SPOS.
I make the motion to approve the EMS generator.
For CK Electric of Southeast Georgia in the amount of $30,700. I second it. Any questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Next item, consider and approve changing the date for the January meeting. It's gonna be, yes, sir, thank you. Good night.
I'd like to, make a motion for the 8th. January the 8th. I've already took off work, assuming that we were gonna move this already.
Is that the next Monday, following Monday?
Yeah.
December, January, okay. So the 8th,
Is the next Monday after. Yeah.
okay. Anybody got an issue with that? Okay. So it'll be January the 2nd. I meant the, 8th.
Yes, sir.
Anybody second that? I just did.
Okay.
Hey, and Chairman, I went ahead and looked at the 2024 holidays. The only other meeting that we will have a conflict is gonna be, Labor Day, September the 2nd. So if you want to look, or if you wanna wait to the January meeting, we can do that.
Yeah, let's wait.
Yeah, let's wait on
Okay.
that, but I agree. I do want to go ahead and make all those changes, so if any of us need to make, any preparations for vacation or anything like that, we'll already know the dates of those meetings, but, we do have a motion and a second for January the 8th. Any comments? Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
And if you would, please put that on the agenda for January so that we can get
Okay,
the.
for the September one?
Yes, and any others, if y'all see any others that you see a conflict with, bring it up in January, please. All right, next item, consider and approve LMIG list for 2024 applications. We got the list. I only have one question about that at the moment. Longleaf Road, or Longleaf Lane. I do want to make sure, if this list is approved, that we wait until that construction is finished, because they do have some heavy equipment on that road, and that was one of the pre-roads that we had before they required the soil cement base on it, and it is, the integrity is gone on it, as we talked about before. But I do want to make sure that we, if we can, hold off on that as long as we can, and to make sure that we don't get it paved, and then we've got heavy equipment running across it, messing it up again.
That shouldn't be a problem. They usually have trouble beating the schedule anyway. Everybody's always down to the bottom line. So we need to, as long as we're agreeable to go past that date,
Okay,
I think it'll work out.
okay. Anybody else got any questions or concerns, or?
One thing I would like to clarify, if you look at that total estimated cost, $1,487,000, that's the estimate, all that work is listed. As far as, the LMIG funding, that's $1,063,148. We've got a 10% match. And so anyway, the total funds available $1,169,463. We always send in more.
Overestimate.
That's right, because we don't, we have to go back and amend, and I would very much expect that we cut part of the project off this list. If you look, the largest project at the bottom is Michael Lake Road, and, what we would recommend if we wind up over budget is that we cut a portion off of Michael Lake Road to get us within budget.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read these names out, because a lot of people ask about these, and these are the Lamig, roads, and Mr. Elton and Mr. Bill, did he help you?
Normally, I put this list together.
Okay.
Because I'm out there looking at these roads year-round and have a little better feel for what's out back there, what actually needs to be done.
Right, and,
I normally put these together.
and these are the roads that you felt like were, needed the most immediate attention to keep the integrity of the road or whatever it may be.
That's right, and I would point out, some of these are spot surfaces, and some of them are total resurfaces.
Okay,
Look under the link there, anywhere you see a gross and net, those are, roads that are just gonna get, spots paved where we've got that significant problem.
okay,
We're nursing them to try to direct the
Right.
money, keep things from falling apart.
right. Rather, and to clarify that, rather than to neglect a road that the sides are breaking off or the integrity is going away, we go ahead and spot pave it to prevent that from happening until we get the full funding to be able to pave the whole road. A lot of people don't understand that, and I didn't either until you explained it to me, but it makes sense because we prevent a lot of damage that could happen within a year or two before we have the money to actually resurface the whole road.
That's correct.
So the roads on here are Empire Road and that spot surface, Covey Way,
Yes,
that's a full,
yes, sir, that's the reclamation, that's the two roads down there in Hunter's Glen, off Long Ford, that we just brought onto the system, meeting or two ago.
okay. Quail Run,
That's in that same subdivision.
yes, sir. Airport Road, spot surface.
Yes, sir.
Cherokee Lake Road, that's,
That's researched.
okay. And that's the entire road, isn't it?
Entirely, yes, sir.
Longleaf Lane, that's the one that I was talking about, that there's still some construction and things like that going on that we need to wait and have that done at a later date when all that is completed. Bethlehem Road,
That's full paving, and it, of course, it goes from the bypass out to, Northview Drive.
okay, and then, Michael Lake Road.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We've been nursing that one along, we've done some spot leveling on it in the past, and, most likely what would happen, whatever we don't get in this round, will probably show up on next year's
Okay,
list.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the Lamig list for 2024
as is,
as is
okay,
written. With the option, if we do go over budget, I like the way he's talking about, we would eliminate or do partial on this Michael Lake Road as a contingency if we did so happen to get over budget due to things that we can't foresee.
or if we have some money left
Oh,
over.
we got money left over?
Yeah.
I like
Second.
the way you think.
Second.
Any comments, concerns? Madam Clerk, Commissioner
Commissioner-
Thomas seconded.
Okay. Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Next item J, consider and approve purchase of football equipment for recreation department.
Before we get to the football equipment, I wanna get y'all up to par on some stuff that we have done in the past, I think a few meetings back, we considered the approval to do Odom ball fields. Help from, Kevin McReady and his staff there has helped us out a lot, but Odom should be finished next week.
Good.
We have, everything's done, we're just waiting on some clay, we're waiting on arrangement, I think Kevin wants to go get it Monday and Tuesday of next week, so we're just waiting on the okay from the clay guy to go pick it up, and, Odom should be complete, I think they should be happy, and I think it's looking good out there right now. Still got some work to do out there, but the hard part's done, so,
Thank you, Spec.
But yes, sir. So I figured you wanna know that, but like I said, I've been talking to Paul a little bit about it, but I think they're gonna be very happy with what they got out there. Also, this past weekend, we sent three teams to state soccer. We came back with 2 state championships.
Awesome.
So, the 12U girls and the 14U boys co-ed won it. So, I'm very proud of them guys and the coaches and they did good. And I wanna thank Jamie for putting it on the marquee up there at the Strand. So, I know the kids enjoy that. So, but now we get to the football equipment. So, I reckon we're gonna do like a show and tell or whatever. This is what we got. I know some of y'all always play football. I know Coach Thomas has coached it. But, this is what we got. This is what we use now. This is what's called a shut helmet. It's like a foam padding. This is a Rydell helmet. You can tell the difference in the padding. And like I said, Rydell is, most of your NFL teams, that's what they wear. It's just a better constructed helmet. It's put together better. Your earpieces don't come out. Your pads don't come out. It's all put together. So this is what we're looking forward to getting. But it'll be a white helmet and have our WCs on the side of it. So it'll be well taken care of. And like I said, this thing here is probably 8, 9 years old. And you can just tell the difference in the look. Let me get y'all some shoulder pads here to show y'all the difference in these. You know, when we're dealing with kids, you know, you got a lot of buckles on it. And this is a headache because kids lose these and this. See, it's all put together now. It's all constructed all together. And the main thing for these things and helmets is really safety. You know, you got the concussion protocols you got these days, and it's just really the safety of the kids to actually get new equipment that we can, you know, be proud of in the county. Because like I think, you know, we got some helmets now that's 4 or 5 different colors. We can all be one color when we go out as a town and play these all-star tournaments and actually look good. So, but you got the bids. Like I
What's
said,
the life expectancy of a
this is
piece?
about 10 years. And you can go get them refurbished, but good luck finding somebody refurbishing these days. But you know, technology changes every day. You know what I'm saying? This stuff. I wish we'd had this when we was little.
I agree.
You know, it has changed a whole lot. But yes, it's more nowadays. It's safety for these kids than it is anything. You know, so we wanna try to put the best out there for these kids when they got to, you know, participate. So.
And both of these bids are Rydell, correct?
Rydell, yes.
Yeah, they're both, so
Both Rydell.
that's not even an option.
That's right.
Okay.
I don't even know if they even make these anymore.
Where'd you find that at? I know you,
Hey, I found them in the hole, but like I said, it's more right now of a safety than it is anything. You know, Joel Roddy at the hospital has been helping us out with equipment over the last 3 or 4 years. He's been buying helmets here and there, but man, helmets now, they outrageously expensive. And, you know, back in the day, Kevin Wicked got those helmets probably $54. And everything's just shot up and hard to get them. And like I said, Chef Hills can get them right there. And he's already got other counties even buying helmets from him up there. So it's just, you know, we don't have to pay no shipping and handling on them. So it's just, you know, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
and that was the lowest bid
Yes, sir.
of $20,000
Yes.
for 100 sets?
100 helmets and 100 shoulder pads.
Okay.
So,
And the next bid was,
I think it was 26,700.
$26,000.
That was coming straight from Rydell.
Okay,
So saved us a little bit of money by using local vendors. So.
right. So I make a motion, we go with the 20,000 bid from Sheffield.
I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Back tees, for the, equipment for the recreation department. Any comments, concerns?
Well, those Rydells are safe helmet, the safest helmet to make 2 ways. They're safe as far as the impact because of the padding in them. A couple years before I started playing, they was folding them up, putting them in the back pocket. But then they came with the suspension. Then they came with that. But anyway, even the Rydell now, if you can look at it, the way it's constructed, it's better ventilation, and especially playing football here with the heat the way it is. You know, you save some kids to have heat stroke. So it's 2 ways, but that's some good equipment.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary.
Yes,
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you, Spec.
Thank you for the update.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Still hadn't got to see that striping machine work.
When you wanna see it, you should've come out to soccer. We can
Right
get
after you
soccer.
called me, I
We'll
said,
get you out there. We're gonna do a whole, get everybody out there to do it.
you know we working at eliminating your job, because we got a striper, we got a lawn cutter, and what did we approve here?
Session,
Yeah, concessions, I mean, it won't be long.
I'm gone.
You go- Just keep that in mind when you bring it in here, your want list. You too, Sheriff. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the sheriff's next, as a matter of fact.
Item K, school resource officer for sheriff's department, 3 of them. Here we go. I thought you took his book.
Yeah.
No, this is actually, this is good, in collaboration with the Board of Education, being able to get these resource officers up here, to keep our kids safe in the event. You know, we hope we don't have to use them, but glad to be able, and glad the Board of Education is willing to, put forth an effort to take care of all the kids, because I got some grandbabies. I got 2 grandbabies, got them on my phone if y'all want to see them later, but you know, that's what we're here for, and we want to make sure, and he's asking for 3 deputies. This is in and out money. The Board of Education's gonna pay for everything for these officers. It won't cost us any, but we do have to add 3 so that he doesn't take away from the police, the department, for these 3. And I,
Motion we approve, Mr. Chairman.
okay,
I second it.
okay. Any more questions, comments?
I just want to say that as far as the school resource officers go, they are so much more than protection. I know 2 of them, and they are mentors. Those kids, I know the one at the high school, he's just absolutely an incredible, positive influence on an entire student body.
I agree. I think, you know, at this day and time, kids need to be acclimated to the sheriff's department, just to let them know that they're not what the world gives a perception of. I'll leave it at that. But I think it is very beneficial to have them in there, especially through all the grades.
I agree. Hope we never have to use them.
Yep.
I'm glad they're there.
Any more questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
You gonna leave now, Sheriff? Since we give you your. Okay. L, consider and approve naming of the fire station.
Yeah.
What road, it's not Oglethorpe, what's that road?
It's,
I'm sorry.
Osteen Branch.
Osteen
Branch,
Branch,
yeah.
that's right.
This family is personal to me. I've known all of them for many, many years, starting with Miss Jackie Lewis, Kim Flournoy, Doug Lewis, Vernie Lewis. This family donated the acre of property on Osteen Branch Road, and we're looking for a name for the station. I called the family and asked them if I could recommend this station be named Lewis Station. And they said we'd be honored. So I'd like to make a motion, my voice is going. I'd like to make a motion, that we name the fire station at Osteen Branch Road Lewis Station.
Second. Okay. I thought you was getting choked up, Commissioner.
Well, you could easily, because they didn't ask for anything. They just automatically volunteered and whatever they could do to help. And I commend you for at least offering to make their, put their name on it so they can get some kind of recognition.
Very just.
The price of an acre is mighty expensive right now, and it's right in the middle of a field, so.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a benefit to a lot of people. Any
Yeah.
more comments, concerns? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins, Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Update on that property, only thing we lack is getting power before it's,
Before we get a inspection by the state, I understand that the power has been ordered and the check's been cut, and so we're just waiting on REA.
okay. And they're waiting on the Alma crew, so,
That's right.
anyway, and then the,
Chapman Plantation.
thank you. Chapman Plantation will be next, and everything's already
It's-
done on it, I
mhm.
believe.
They've already got that order in also to Alma.
And it, for some reason, if you've got power on it, it will be recognized as a volunteer fire station. You do not have to have water on a volunteer fire station for it to be recognized. You got me, but that's the way it works. They have to have power on it, but the water's coming right behind it.
Yeah.
All right, next item, appointments, workforce, do what? Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act Board, Dr. Paul Scott.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I got an excellent person. We worked together for a number of years at the high school as an administrator. I think she would be a perfect fit to take Dr. Scott's place, Ms. Bonnie Gordon.
Okay, second that. I agree. That's what we're looking for. Any comments, concerns? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
Next item's grievance committee, Harry Bennett, County Commissioner appointee.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to recommend the retired Chief Perry Morgan on the grievance board that we've had in the past. Most of the grievances that we've had has come from maybe law enforcement, say if the sheriff fires somebody and they have a grievance. Usually they are represented by PBA, so we need somebody on there that familiar with law enforcement and how things are handled. And we've had retired State Patrol on there and some other people. So I think Perry Morgan would be a good fit for that group, and he'll be fair and honest, and will save us some headaches in making the right decision.
And this is only for the county?
Yes.
So there's no conflict of interest with him being a city commissioner?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay,
I second that.
okay. Any comments, concerns? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McCreary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
We hope the sheriff don't have to fire anybody, but you know.
If he does, we're gonna take that one position away. Next item, grievance committee, Calvin Hayes, elected officials, term expires 12/31/23.
Chairman, the elected officials, which include the clerk of court, magistrate, probate, sheriff, and tax commissioner, would like to nominate Tracy Brown as their elected official appointee to serve on the grievance committee.
Okay, I'll make that in the form of a motion that we
Second.
accept Tracy.
Second.
Any comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary.
Yes. Next item, Heart of Georgia Omaha Regional Commission, third party Dawson Trapnell, term expires 12/31/23. It's my understanding that he does not want to serve anymore. I know we've got a couple of people, that we were looking at for that. Does anybody have anybody?
Paul? Did you talk to?
Did Derek ever call you back?
No, he never did call me back.
No, the one individual we had talked to never responded back to us, so.
I make a motion, we table it.
No, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I can't talk over you. I'm willing to serve on that board.
Okay. All right, so I've already made a motion to table it.
Second.
If it dies from lack of a second. Okay, so we can table it until next month.
You could withdraw your motion. That's all right. We're tabled.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Next item, Heart of Georgia Omaha Regional Commission County Designee James Thomas, term expires 12/31/23. And I assume that he's still wanting to,
Yes, sir. They elected me as chairman, so I hope that you all will allow me to continue to serve.
I make a motion to reappoint
I
Mr.
second.
Thomas.
Yes, I second.
any comments, concerns? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
We're gonna give him a minute to get him a swallow of water, if y'all don't mind. We'll just wait to vote till you get back. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, please. I know you don't wanna sit here through all this.
I saw him walk in and I was like, we done took care of it.
Commissioner Hickok.
Hey, Daryl's the man, he's the one bringing all the business.
I know. He's a man.
We gotta take care of him.
Next item, Solid Waste Authority District 3, Justin McDonald with term expiring 1/1/24.
Yes, sir, I would like to nominate Tammy Robertson. I think, Paul, you've spoken with her.
Yes, sir, that is
So,
correct, yep.
I think she'd make a good fit for this.
And Justin's not wanting to,
I talked with Justin and he, under no circumstances, wants to continue on this, waste management
okay.
authority.
I second that. Any questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Gordon,
Yeah, yes.
Commissioner McCrary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox.
Yes.
I do want to check on the requirements for that board if we can. I think is it quarterly that they meet?
They are scheduled to meet quarterly, but I think they just kind of meet whenever they have something come up.
Okay, is that state required quarterly or?
Do what
We
I
have
do.
to look back at the requirements to be sure, but,
Okay.
I mean, I think it's in our ordinances that they meet quarterly, but again, they really don't have any business that necessitates a meeting, so.
Well, and that's the concern I get from the one that I appointed to that they don't have any business. I didn't know if they have to meet. Maybe we can get with that board. I don't know do they have a chair?
They
There was
did.
one appointed 2 or 3 years ago, I know, but I'm not, again,
Okay.
I hadn't followed it to know if there's still a chairman.
Maybe we can talk to them and find out and at least have them on standby in case we need them. Did you have something?
Yes, sir. The only thing I was gonna add was, and I think that some more work has to be done in reference to, Clerk Hannah and I were talking today, that, it's a 9-member board, y'all get 5 appointments, and then 3 of the appointments out of the 9 have to be an elected official. So they come from the city of Odom, city of Jessup, and city of Scriven. So those boards make 1 appointment each. They have to be elected, and all 3 that are currently listed on there, as we know, Mr. House passed away. And then the same thing with the Scriven and Odom appointments, those folks aren't holding office anymore. So we need to kind of look at that board and get with the municipalities to have them make some more appointments. And I think that's one of the things we can do. And I think it's important, my opinion now, is it's important for the folks on that board to know that the board is a necessity from y'all.
Right.
They may not ever meet, but when y'all need them,
That's
they
right.
need to be there and be ready to meet. And I think
Yeah.
if they just understand that, it'll be more clarifying for some of those board members that may think, well, gee, I'm on this board and we never meet.
Right.
That was one of the things that Mr. McDonald expressed to me. As long as he's been on this board, he's only met 1 time. And me and the chair was talking too, that as long as we've got that board in place, if it's ever needed. So we've already got our contingency plan, which is the board. And if they don't want, there's nothing to meet about, we don't want to cycle them. We would let that, if there's state requirements, if there's any way, if it says quarterly, and we feel like we turn that back over to the chair of that committee. And they can make the decision as long as we've got the board in place if it's ever needed. So,
Mr. Chairman, also take it in consideration that that board that we appoint needs to understand the contractual agreement that we have with the solid waste. Also, they need to know the state and federal guidelines for the decisions they make, because that will affect us immediately.
Right. Okay. Madam Clerk?
I already called the roll.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. For him
Okay.
to appoint Tammy
Okay.
Robertson.
I was just telling you, hey. DFAX board, Perry Morgan has resigned from this with his term expiring 3/14, I assume, because he's now an
Yeah.
elected official.
Mr. Chairman, I've been contacted by the DFAX board. They are recommending that we approve Brandon Williams. He's on the police department. He's a police officer, very nice young man.
And I also spoke to Chief Hamilton about that appointment, since it was Perry Morgan and he was the chief before, and the Chief Hamilton also recommended Brandon Williams.
Okay. Did we get a second on that?
I'll second.
But now, the DFAX board makes that recommendation, they recommended Perry Morgan as well.
Okay,
It's not our
Okay.
recommendation, but we approve.
okay. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McCreary,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins,
yes.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
All right. Items with the administrator?
I don't really have anything. I will just say that we just got super busy and it kind of ran late Friday. I was going to send out a little wrap-up for y'all. And one of the things I do want to send y'all is, as you know, November 29th, the staff had a in-house retreat, and we kind of addressed, like our big issues that we want to handle in 2024. And so I just want to get those out to y'all at some point. I'll email them to you, and just for y'all to look at them, and if you thumbs up, or, hey, did you think about this? Anything you may want to add to it or whatnot. So that's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Items with the clerk, Madam Clerk?
You got your fund balance as of November the 30th in front of you. The general fund is $547,985.55. The lost treasury account, $9,589,826.30. SPOS 4, $6,624,463.83. T-Splosh, $3,227,103.74. American Rescue Plan, $3,907,862.35. And then the revolving loan fund, $287,812.12. And then also your October 23 budget report compared to October 2022. Your 23 revenues were $2,809,351.42. 2022 was $2,710,900.04, with overall revenues are up from 2022 by 3.63%. The expenses for 23 are $2,056,559.81. 2022, $2,015,564.28, and your overall expenses are up from 2022 by 2.03%.
That, oh, was that it? I'm sorry.
That's all.
So we're looking at not having to borrow from Lost or take any out of Lost, or do we have enough revenue coming in now? I know the tax bills went out. We're not gonna have to borrow from it?
No, I'm gonna have to borrow about $1 million to get through payroll this pay period.
Cause we're down to
With the bills, yeah.
547,000. Okay, that's what I was just,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
So the loss would be $8,589,826.30 after we deduct the $1 million that we have to for payroll in
Yes.
December.
Mhm.
Awesome. Ain't it good to not have to do the tan?
Yes.
Yes.
It will pay interest
Or
on
pay
it.
interest?
Yep. Next, county commissioners. Commissioner Thomas?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to ask Mr. Administrator the progress of, Howard Richardson and getting the senior citizens in there, and how's everything?
It's ready. It's completed. The two big issues, the two issues that you and I discussed, we got over there and moved those items out that were inside the hall that was in their way. Excuse me. We went back, we thought we were gonna do carpet in that one office that they wanted, and, Kirk actually had some boxes of the, wood floor laminate left over, so he took them over to the, Miss France, well, I hate to say her name because I can't remember it, but he took them over to the lady. She absolutely loved it. She goes, "Oh yeah, I really like that flooring." So we got the flooring in, got the door handle done, so they're good to go. Yep, everything's ready, or it's done, completed.
Did we need to purchase any more tables, anything for down there for that, or we got?
No, sir, not that I've heard. I mean, I went by there that one Friday and talked to him, or no, it was on a Wednesday, that Kirk and I think Spec actually went over there with us too. And we talked to them and told them, said, look, if y'all need something, holler at us. We met their needs that day and then told them if they needed anything else, and I haven't heard anything from them. Have you, Spec?
We took they used that one room that we stored our toiletry items in. So we took a locker over there today. We got from the high school. We kind of redone it. We got toilet paper and paper towels and a mop bucket and broom and all that. Now, when we do rent it out or whoever, they can go in there and get their stuff to clean the building down.
Good.
So,
Because originally, when I was growing up, that first room coming in, we had the stuff, that was the office.
that's right, yeah.
That was the
Yep.
office.
So we got that taken care of. So like I said, but we talk to them almost every day. We let them know if there's something we can do, just holler at us. We can do what we can do over there for them.
Thank y'all so much. That saves us a lot of money because we own that building.
Yes, absolutely.
You good? I'm good. Thank you so much. I appreciate the county administrator. He's doing a great job. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, thank you. It's only and honestly, thank you for that. But I'm telling you, our staff, the staff we have is unbelievable. Because Commissioner Thomas, as soon as you called me, I literally called Kirk and said, "Hey, we needed this moved." And I called Spec and I said, "Meet me over here. Here's what we need." And I mean, they just take it. They just do it, and they do a fantastic job when they do it. Spec's the one that come up with the idea. He said, "Hey, we need to get a locker over here because we don't want to have to go into their locked rooms for our cleaning supplies So it was Spec's idea of coming up with a locker just so we can store cleaning supplies, and I'm telling you, our staff is phenomenal.
I second what, Coach Thomas said, and I second what Paul says about our team, and you're
Yeah.
part of that team. It's, it's good. We're saving a lot of money working to get, I like the camaraderie that we've got, this team has got. You know, and everybody's focused on saving money for Wayne County and doing what's best for the taxpayers and what's best for the community. And I'm just happy to be a part of this, a small part of it, but I'm happy to be a part of it.
Commissioner, you got
I have nothing.
Commissioner Gordon?
I don't have anything.
I have two things. The appointees, the people that are willing to serve on these boards, I just want to thank them. This board strategically puts people in these positions to make sure, you know, some of them, the boards may not be used, but we have the people there that we all feel like are capable of doing those jobs and being able to step up to the plate if they need to. They don't get paid for it, but they are willing to step up and do it. And I do appreciate all of them. Not only the ones that were appointed tonight, but those who have been serving for a long period of time. I do appreciate that. Election building, to put you on the spot, can we get an update on that, on this building out here? I don't know if y'all saw the dirt's in, the plumbing's in.
Yes, and they're in the process of, they've poured the first pad, second pad, and I think they've got one pad left to get it poured. And as soon as they do it, they'll, you know, once it kind of gets out of that green phase, they'll start standing metal. And then from there, Kirk's gonna take over, you know, on the inside stuff. We didn't, and it wasn't a huge issue. It was something that Brandon and Mr. Bill Schuman come to me about, that they had noticed some of the anchor bolts wasn't in the foundation. I called Kirk. He immediately addressed it with the builder, and so they've fixed that issue or ensured that those anchor bolts are they're out there and ready to go. So Kirk's already, I think, connected the water and the sewer, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just a matter of when they start standing metal, we'll move forward. So we're still on an end of January timeline, is what Kirk told me the other day. So,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to all the first responders. My mom and daddy live right in town, so they hear them every time they go out or anywhere. I appreciate all y'all do, for sure. Please pass that on. That's all I have. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.